Amazing. And we are now live. Welcome, Chris.
How's it going?
It is going. I'm coming at you from the 1 Month Studios. Chris Castig is live from Berlin. How's Berlin?
I am. I love it. I biked this morning, and I've just been riding around. It's been great. Yeah.
Amazing. So we're going to take the next couple of minutes to just...
1 month.
Oops.
Years, members of the team. So it's kind of a second home for me. It's been good.
Amazing. We're just going to take the first couple of minutes and let people arrive, see how many people show up. There's a QA, everybody, so if you want to say hey in the QA, you're welcome to. Already we have 20 people online with us right now, which is amazing. Chris, you want to show your face and give everyone a wave?
Yeah. I have a face.
Do you have a face? Do you have a face?
Slides. In real time. Whoa, that's close. Going on. Yeah.
Hey guys, what's up?
Yeah. Let's go to arrive, but hello, 20 people.
23. Got 23.
Do we know the names of people? Can we say hi to them?
Yeah. So we have a QA. I can open that up for you.
Cool.
Anybody can ask questions by posting in the QA on the sidebar. And what was I going to say? I don't know. My head just went boop. We're gonna wait the first couple of minutes just to get everybody on board. Oh, I know what I was going to say. We have 400 people who signed up to watch this webinar.
Right. So I mean, some people sign up, and can you watch afterwards? I think we'll put it on YouTube once we start.
Yeah.
On YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, we will. So,
cool.
So Chris, give us a little sneak preview. What are we doing today?
So we're not starting yet, but we're just kind of, what are we doing?
Yeah.
We're just going to give a tease. Is that what
just a little tease, just a little tease, so that the people who are here, they can get a preview of what we're doing, and then we'll officially get started at 1:05. Everyone get your lunch, get your water, get your beer, get your coffee, whatever time it is for you, get what you need. And Chris, give them a little tease.
All right. So today I'm excited because we're doing 1 month HTML. We're going to do it as a premium course here at 1 month. You can tell the fact that I'm in Berlin and Sarah's in New York City, that we are a company that loves to work hard and travel hard and have a great time. So we wanted to share that with a small group of people, students, all to you. And so in this webinar, of course, obviously, because I'm jazzed about it, but I do want this to be a valuable experience, to take some solid takeaways about, what is responsive design, spot it, when do you need it, all that kind of stuff. Basic primer, so that you can walk away from this just feeling a little bit smarter around the office today. So we're going to talk a lot about HTML. I've been doodling on HTML for about, 20 years? Could it be? 2000? No, 16 years. Okay. It's been a while. So, yeah. So,
are you
happy
saying
to answer any questions. Yeah, the internet was, I think it's 25 years old today. 1991 was the first day the internet went on the world online. Amazing. So, yeah, I was around then. Yeah.
Amazing. So, Chris, tell us a little bit more about this thing called 1 month.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. You just tell me when we're officially starting, so I can put my HTML hat on.
HTML hat.
What do we say about 1 month?
Let's. It's up. I think that if you go ahead and get started in 30 seconds, we have people who are still joining, but we're getting a good crew of people on. So.
Okay, cool.
Everyone, welcome. We're going to officially start. Thanks for being here. Chris, I'm handing it over to you.
That's what I wanted. Thank you. Hi. Hey, guys. What's up? So a lot of you all signed up for this webinar, and I want to make this the best, hour of your life. I mean, if possible, right? We could shoot high. And I realize a lot of you might be at work right now, or in the car, or at a cafe. I really have no idea where. I'm here in Berlin chilling. Sarah is at our office in New York City. And Sarah and I work together at a company called 1 Month. 1 Month, we are a team in New York City, and we want to make education better for you, because right now it's quite expensive and very difficult to learn how to code unless you have like 10 grand to drop. So, so we're bringing that online. And 1 Month, let me just tell you quickly, I'm excited about it. 1 Month is a company that I started 3 years ago with an amazing human being, Matan Griffel. The two of us came together working at General Assembly. Maybe you've heard of that, General Assembly. And we left General Assembly to start something online, because if you've heard that term, we just weren't doing it. We wanted to bring the real life component of teachers to the web, and not use technology to replace teachers, but use technology as a tool that we can have teachers to make education better. So we have videos that we create here at 1 Month. We have a studio, a video studio. That's where Sarah is sitting right now. And at our studio there in New York City, we have some of the best teachers from around the world. We fly them in, we work with them over months and months and months to make these courses that are called premium courses, where you, as the student, week over week, for 4 weeks, 1 month, watch a little bit of videos with the help of a live teacher. So that's the idea of having the one-on-one touch and the teacher. And the courses are, I don't know, a hundredth of a times cheaper than most boot camps or college or any of that stuff out there. So that was kind of the dream. It's just like making it more scalable and reaching more people. And that's what 1 Month is. And that's how you somehow landed here with me. So hi. Okay. So that's 1 Month. Sarah has a course called 1 Month Content Marketing that she teaches here at 1 Month. I have 1 Month HTML, 1 Month Programming for Non-Programmers, responsive design, JavaScript, a whole bunch of them. And today we're going to be talking specifically about HTML and the programming language, or really I should say markup language, the markup language that is HTML language.
Awesome.
Very cool. So, questions so far? How's people? How are they behaving?
Are they behaving? Yes, we've got loads of people on this webinar, and thanks to everybody who is joining us. We have people from all over, people who've never heard of 1 Month before, people who are coming from different job searches. We put up a lot of advertisements around job searches and pages where people are curious about what this is and what it means and how they can get a job, or how they can apply this skill and this tool to their life. So I'm super excited because I know that you're going to cover all of that. I know that you're going to talk about why it's important to learn HTML, how you can use it in everyday life, like immediately. You're going to teach people how to apply it. And one of the things I'm really excited is that you're going to show people even what's in this big course that you teach, this 1 Month course. It's a really fun opportunity for us to give you a sneak preview and show you, we don't really show people this. We get to show you what it is that you are going to learn inside the classroom. So that's a really awesome thing. It's a real treat to have Chris on this call. And before we go any further, I just make sure to tell people, if you have to step out, if you have to go, get your lunch or grab something, or you have a meeting in the middle of this, make sure you come back at 1:45, 45 minutes after the hour, because we have a really big treat for everybody who's watching this webinar. And we don't do this on our email list. We don't do this anywhere else other than on this webinar. So if you're curious and you're interested, stay tuned, because we're going to share something really awesome with you at 1:45. With that said, Chris, I want to hand it back over to you so that you can dive into everything you're going to share with everybody.
All right, cool. So let me jump into it. Here we go. All right, so check this out. So we talked about 1 Month. I told you that's where you are. This is our website where we have 20 other courses. Today we're talking about HTML. Cool. I told you Sarah. This is Chris and Sarah. Sarah, do you have anything else to say about who you are?
Do I know who I am? Yeah, I work at
Do you
1
know who
month.
you are?
I work at 1 month, and I'm a freelance writer around the internet. I swim big open water swims. I'm working on my first book, and I'm a teacher here at the studio. So it's
Yeah,
awesome to meet you. It's awesome to hang out with you. If you want to know more about me, ask me later.
Sarah's amazing. No big deal, right? She's just doing everything. And she had a child. So, you know, all the things. She's
That's
amazing.
true. I had a baby. Yes.
Just add that one. Oh, amazing. Okay, cool. So today, Sarah and I are going to be chatting with you on this webinar. And there's going to be 4 main things I want to hit with you. One will be with HTML. I'll share with you how I got started with HTML. I'll share with you the basics of why you need to know HTML. That's what that's about. Number 2 is like, what can you create with HTML? So I'm going to show you some projects that I've created, that students have created, and give you just like a little taste, because look, to learn a programming language, just to learn it, we're here to build things at the end of the day. So I try not to, in my course or in my life, like just try to like solve problems and try to make stuff. And so I want to show you like what you can make, because that's the purpose of this. 3, and the third part I think will be the longest part. So the first few we'll go through fairly quickly, I think. The third part will be questions, because I just want to hear what questions you have about honestly anything. I mean, this is about HTML, but if you have or career questions, things you're wondering, you know, about me or anything, I don't know, whatever. But we're here for you. Just ask those questions. So we'll open that up. And in that section, I have really common questions that I get asked a lot, and I would like to, if we have time, to show you a preview of some videos that I made for you in the studio that I think will help you understand what is responsive design, and if we have time, things. I'll just leave it at that for now. I don't want to go too deep into it. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. And finally, the special offer that Sarah mentioned at the end, we're going to have a special offer. I don't know that I'm allowed to say anything more than that, but it's going to be good.
Just tell them they should definitely be here at the end.
Okay, you should definitely be here at the end. Yes, that's true. Okay, so those are the 4 things. And I think you can ask questions at any point, right? Yeah, is anyone asking questions? Yeah.
Yeah, anyone can ask questions. There's a QA button on the webinar. If you're in the Google Hangouts page, if that's where you're watching, there should be a QA setting. We get it on our side, and we'll see all the questions that you post.
Sweet. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's get into it. Started with HTML. So here's the thing you need to know about HTML. The website on the internet is made. A lot of times students will come to me and ask me, well, what language should I start with? Should I start with Ruby, or Python, or Java, all these kind of sites? The one common thing from all the websites on the internet is what? I just said it, is that they all use HTML, right? That's how it works. CSS, and then one backend language. So a site like Twitter was started using HTML, CSS, I'm sorry, I'll say it again, HTML, CSS, and together made Twitter, right? Facebook started was CSS, and PHP is that one backend language. So there's these kind of fundamental recipes of making a website, and what's consistent throughout on the internet is this HTML factor. So that's why it's so important. So why do I know so much about HTML? Because I wasn't into coding. I wasn't a developer in high school or any of that. I just had a problem that I wanted to solve, though. I really wanted to build. I didn't want to pay anybody, and I wanted to know how to do it my own way, because part of making anything, maintaining it, updating itself. So I was like, this is something I need to know if I'm gonna, as a small business in a way. So back in college was I was sick science classes. I was talking to friends, and really none of that helped me, honestly. It was all dead ends because the computer science class was the Java. As you know already, Java is not going to help you build a website alone. You still need the HTML component. The books, they were just kind of like timey and long, and I feel like I had to already be a developer to understand them, so that wasn't helping me kind of communicate what I needed to hear. So I figured it out on my own. I mean, it took a long time. I'd say like at least like 6 months, but I figured it out on my own. I got to share that with people, so I started building brands in my college, which gave me a New York City. I started making restaurants, websites like the Grand Central Oyster Bar, a bunch of Italian restaurants like Lydia's Italy and all these things, Four Seasons, always. And then I was like, oh, this is cool. This is like, and music on the side. And so to me, it was a dream. And it all kind of started like figuring out this thing HTML that a lot of people didn't know enough about at the time. And that's when I got excited about teaching, just because it's a great opportunity to share with people. And that's what I'm here today. Big for me, this is me. Looks like, hi, I'm Chris. I'm a big boy. And I'm staying, if you measure me, I'm 5'9". And yeah, and do you have any questions so far, Sarah? Do you want to ask me any questions? I'm just gonna pause and just regroup with Sarah for 1 second, and then I'm just gonna.
Sure thing. I was just sending you a message on the side. If you could check the bandwidth really fast, I think a few people are having some audio quality issues.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Yeah.
Perfect. So just double check the bandwidth so we can make sure the sound is really good.
Maybe that's a little better.
Yeah.
How does that work for you? Is that a little bit better?
That's so much better already. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And you can still see the audio and the video, I mean?
Yeah, we can still see the slides.
Okay, cool. So from there, from teaching myself and getting my first job about a year after teaching myself how to code, you know, I started working with other people. Some notable things, I mean, that I'm excited about, for example, is I'm now a teacher at Columbia University, teaching a digital literacy course there, which has been really exciting. That starts in the fall, so excited to start that. Before 1 month, I was with Jen for almost 3 years and developing curriculum. I was their first teacher over there. And I've also been private tutors for the CEO of Donors Choose and various executives at American Express. So that's kind of like where coding took me, and that's why I'm excited. I mean, I'm just always excited to share with people, with you. And so that's why I'm here, is just to like share what I know so that you can build awesome things. And so if there's not any questions, I want to just kind of move on now to the types of things that you can build with HTML. Any questions so far, Sarah?
No, you're good.
Okay, cool. The projects. Okay, so let me just show you some projects. I'll open up the browser. Open up the browser. This is, I'm going to show you some projects that I made, that I use in my class that demonstrate to me it could build in the first 15, 20 hours of learning to code HTML and CSS. So these are like the fundamentals, and I think it's useful for you to see this because it'll give you a sense of what's possible. Like I said, everything on the web is HTML and CSS. What is that HTML and CSS? Well, the HTML is the structure of your website, and the CSS. So the CSS is going to be the style, like the font color, like the size. The idea that this is bigger than this is the code that you write with CSS. The HTML is going to be just the idea that this text exists. Okay, this is getting a little abstract. Let me just show you. It's cool that you probably know this already, but if you go view page source, you can view any website on the internet. Code, yes, you can just take it and copy and paste it if you want. I had my first site I ever made. I had someone literally copy and paste the entire site, and I saw it, and I tried to remember that thing when the copies you're supposed to feel good about it and not get mad. So I was cool with it. It was about dogs, his site. Yes. So what I was saying, I'll repeat myself again, the CSS is the style and the HTML is the structure. So you can see the structure of the page lives here. And this might be a little over your head, and that's okay, because you're learning a new vocabulary when you're learning to code. And hearing the words like immersion, like learning a foreign language, immersion. So just listen along, and there's not a quiz right now. There might be if you take my class, but not right now. So just follow along. So what you're seeing here is the structure of the page, just the idea that text exists and that there's headers, that there's divs, which means a dividing of the page, which means I divided this section here. Okay, that's the HTML. A P paragraph exists. It's like these things exist. And if this page were just the HTML and not the CSS, actually, I might be able to do that for you if you give me 1 second. Let me see. If I go to CSS, this is a special tool that I have, and I disable all styles. Okay, cool. So imagine in your head, what does this site look like without the CSS? And now I will show you. Okay, so disable styles. Hopefully it works after that dramatic. Give me 1 second. So if I disable all styles, that work. That's a bummer. Okay, well, it's not going to work because of reasons, but I could show you. This site will probably work if I do it. Let me try this one. So this is a different site that you can also make with HTML. This is one from the class. And if I disable the styles on this site, there you go. This is what just HTML looks like. Just HTML is the existence of text, the existence of an image, et cetera, and a map is here. But it's not until we add the CSS that it knows to center it. It knows that the text should be pink. It knows to move this a little to the right, all the styling. Okay. So hopefully that helps give some examples of, the HTML and the CSS is everything you see on the site. It's the structure, it's the style, but it's not the back-end languages, which are the logic and the algorithms and the database we're going to talk about in this course, but this is like 2 parts of the have of making a site. So HTML and CSS is what you see. Okay, cool. So this is a really simple site that you can make. In the course, the 1-month HTML course, I work with students to make 4 projects. This is the second project we make. It's a blog, as you can see. It's a basic blog. It has 3 blog posts and a sidebar. It has 2 columns like this. So this is a pretty basic skill to have with HTML. A responsive site. You can see this responsive site here, mobile. And this is a site. This is the 4th project that I make with my students. And this is using Bootstrap. 5 years ago, it was started off called Twitter Bootstrap because 2 guys from Twitter made this framework, or means free code. They made this kind of like free code. It's a little hard to go into, but in the course I go into it deeper. But the idea is like free code that you can use to mock up and prototype very quickly. And so this is a prototype that I made to just kind of show the basics of what you can do in about, 30 minutes as a beginner developer using the Bootstrap framework. And so in the course. Some things that students have built, Bootstrap framework, are a site like this. This is a student of mine, Christopher Millard, and he made this site using Bootstrap and portfolio site. Oh, this is a movie trailer that one of my students made. This is just an image of it. And you can start to see patterns because a site like this, it's not too difficult to then make this part longer, change the color, make it a little bit, change the opacity. So she went ahead and made a trailer for this movie there. There's a really famous podcast called My Brother and Me, this one here. And one of the hosts, I took one of my courses and sent this site that he made for himself. And then they talked about it for about 20 minutes on one of the episodes, which was charming. So that's kind of a fun site. And yeah, and this is another portfolio site. And there's a bunch of portfolio sites. Portfolio site is a good first project to make, even if you don't have too much work. But that's what I look for as when I'm hiring developers or designers, project managers or marketing people. I like to see what they've worked on in the past, right? So like LinkedIn helps, I don't know, you know, in this day and age, so to speak, having a presence on the web where you can show off, have some screenshots, have some text, all that kind of stuff, really benefits. You know, knowing the basics of how to launch that, how to maintain it, is a really important skill, and one I want, you know, that I look for in my developers. Everyone that works at 1 month, all 10 of us, or at least know the basics of like the first, you know, 20 plus hours of HTML, CSS, and all that stuff. So you really need to have a multidisciplinary skill set. It's not enough to just be a project manager or a UX designer. There almost isn't really even a thing as a UX designer, because a UX designer's job, user experience, is really just working with so many different disciplines of design and psychology and etc. So yeah. That's where having the skill, where, you know, wherever you're, I don't know where you're coming from, but like it's just a good thing to have as like a human being these days. So hopefully that helps just show some examples of things that I think are possible to build as a beginner, and that things that my students have built in the first like 15 to 20 hours of developing, of working towards a portfolio site, and one that you made yourself is even cooler. It makes you very hireable. Whether you take a course with me or not, figuring out how to do this yourself and making it look really nice is an important part of this whole process. So I'm going to pause right now before we go into the Q&A. Are there any questions at the moment, Sarah? How's it going?
Hey, it's going great. You sound really good. I think we fixed all the audio stuff. So, and this has been so amazing to see all of these different websites. It always blows my mind that you can teach the same thing and then get all of these different sites as a result.
Right.
And I do have a question from a student for you. He says, can I learn enough HTML and CSS in this kind of course to be able to do these tweaks to the website myself instead of hiring a developer?
I want to say it depends. I mean, it's easy to just say, you know, like yes or no, but it's gonna depend on what that site is made with and to it. So, for example, if the person that asked us, if you can add more to it, feel free to let me know more about your site specifically, and I'll try to help you. But for example, if it's Squarespace, like Squarespace is great to get something live, but Squarespace doesn't allow you to make too many updates to the site. So the answer there would be maybe, like you can do a little bit, but you can't do the way the site works. WordPress is kind of similar. It's .com sites that they allow you to make minor changes. Sites with WordPress that you can change every single thing. And so again, it depends exactly the site you have. And I'd say the third scenario, so I said Squarespace, I said WordPress, specific examples because millions of sites are made with those two services. But the third thing is if you had someone build it for you already, you need to talk with that person, because just the reality of my working with developers, he or she might not want to give you the password to do it. They might not trust you. The site might be written with HTML, CSS, and the third language. Like it could be all in Ruby and PHP and that third language to do it. So you would probably need to take at least one more course after this to get that other side of it. So those are just some examples of how it could be tricky. I think you would be closer to being able to do it. I mean, for sure. It's definitely helpful. It's just there's some scenarios. Yeah, hopefully that's helpful. Sarah? Can you guys hear me all right? Any questions going on? Or let me check back in with Sarah.
Yeah, I think that answer was pretty clear. It sounds like it depends. And I would add that I am not a programmer. I teach marketing classes and writing courses. And for me, I have learned enough HTML and CSS that I feel really confident changing my website and updating it. If it's a super complicated redesign of the layout and you need a ton of different things or you need a ton of different pages, then I go to my developer. But if I just want to change like the color of the menu bar or the color of the background or change a style, like I'm all over that like a pro. And I think that's the kind of knowledge you take away when you take an HTML and CSS course.
Yeah, that's true too. If it's small things like change the color of something, the font size, move this a little, like certain paragraph breaks, like it's generally easy. Yeah, that's possible. But if it's like a whole redesign, that's why it's not so easy to say 100% yes or 100% no. It's just going to depend. And I think if anything, taking a course like this or going off and learning, at least be able to know which ones you can't. So you'll at least have that kind of power of having the conversation with the developer and saving yourself money or time by doing it yourself when you can. So that's kind of at least the one thing that you'll definitely take away from a course like this. Yeah.
Exactly. And also, I just want to give a quick shout out to everybody watching. People were saying they're having a hard time doing the QA through Google Hangouts, but you can ask any question you want on our YouTube page. So if you're watching the broadcast through our YouTube page, you can ask any questions there and I can relay them to Chris. And if you want to know how to get to our YouTube page and you're watching this video, just click the little icon in the top right of the video and it'll take you straight to our YouTube page. So if you want to ask questions, there you go.
Awesome. Okay, awesome. Cool. Just standing by if any questions come to me. All right.
I think there's going to be a little bit of a delay, so I'll collect them up if you guys want to ask questions on the YouTube page, and then I'll relay them to Chris when he takes this next little.
Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna move on to Q&A. I think some questions were submitted beforehand. I had a video that I can show to a question that I get really often about responsive design. So I'm happy to share that right now. If you wanted to ask, what do you think's best? Do you want to ask me some questions? Do you want me to go into the video?
Yeah, show me some of those questions that you got from before. I would love to know what they are. I'd love to share them with people.
Yeah. So I mean, the one question that I was telling you that I have this video for here, this back here, is about responsive design and how do you know if something's responsive or not. So do you know how to tell if a site's responsive or not? Do you know the answer?
Me?
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm
Sorry.
here. Are you asking me about the responsiveness?
Yeah.
All right, it's not a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just checking. I actually do. I do know how to check if a site is responsive or not. It's basically, does your site look ugly or not on a mobile phone?
That's a good test. Yeah. So you could just go on your phone, front of its eyes. You could just go on your phone, go to the browser,
Right.
the address in it, see if it looks good. I agree. That is one way. And there's a way that you can do it without actually having to go to your phone. And so this video that I made, and just watch a few minutes of it, and I'll explain. How does that work for you? Cool.
Yeah, show me, show me.
All right, ready? Let's get share on. What's up? I'm going to show you a video of me.
I want to very quickly get you to the place where you can spot websites that are responsive and sites that are not responsive. This by looking at some good examples of really responsive websites that you should know about already, some really beautiful sites. And I'll show you some sites that are also awesome but not responsive, just so we can tell the difference. So that's what's up here. This was submitted by a 1-month HTML student. She had taken the first 5 days of the course and maybe tweeted this out to us. We loved it. We shared it around the office. Great job. Great job. Okay. So here is a site, and we hadn't learned responsive web design practices in the HTML course. So that's why you can see that on the laptop, this looks great, right? It all makes sense. You can see all the text. You can see the borders, everything. Now watch what happens when I simulate what it would look like on a mobile device. So on a mobile device, this is what I do. I just kind of pull it in like that. You can see that the text here cut off, right? You can see that the border here is kind of clipped outside of the frame, which we'll call the viewport, but the frame here. And yeah, the image here, this video is kind of outside of the view, right? So all that kind of stuff. So that right there is a dead giveaway that this site is not responsive, right? Responsive properties, right? But it's still a great site. So the good news is, as web developers, you and I, we can do better. We are going to keep learning and figure out how we can and make it look good on all the platforms. This is a blog post. I will share the links with you down below. This is a blog post that I really love because this photo shoot really nailed it. Having your site on all these various devices. You can see in these examples, the text is not cut off.
That's just a little bit of a preview of telling a site is responsive. One way that you can do it is by, of course, responsive means that it looks good on all the devices. So here you can see this example and this example here. And the way that we can do it is by, if you saw it in the video, the site in and adjusting it like that works. And you can see every time I move the browser with, the bonds or changes, right? This width, right? And it's not like the video is kind of coming out here and I have to do some weird scrolling thing. It's 100% left to right. So that's do that. So, okay. So just wanted to show you a preview of that. And I also have a preview of the course that we make that responsive project in. And you can see every week, it's week 1, week 3. Each week we have a week dedicated to a topic. In week 3, we work on responsive design. And so that's when we make the happy birthday site .lol, which is amazing, using this week 3 recipe, which is about an hour. So in this course, you would make the videos in the project and then submit them to me for some feedback. And I'll individually give you feedback on your project. So that's how that works, to make sure that you're getting it all. Okay, that's responsive design. Questions? Okay, cool. So I'm going to make the announcement now, the announcement about the course, and cool. Let me share my screen. Cool, yeah, there we are. That's me. So I'm excited to announce that starting on Monday, August 29th, be running 1 month HTML, this course that I've been talking about that you've heard of. Our week 1 starts on Monday. So what that means is that if you sign up for the course, you'll get access to me in the chat room. Every day you can ask questions, and at the end of the week, submit homework to me for feedback, because it can be lonely and it's not always, sometimes you get stuck, and make sure there's a community of people with you to get you through those spots. So that's what I'm announcing, and it's pretty exciting. And the best part of it is, for the people on this webinar, Sarah and I decided that we would give you sushi. That we would, this code below me in the sushi says that you will get 50, is it 50% off, Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay, just double checking, because that's
It is.
a pretty
That's
big
why
discount.
we never do this by on our website, and we rarely do this by email. But we know how many people are looking for a course like this, looking to be able to learn CSS and HTML and really get started either on running their own business or learning a new skill, or even getting started down the path of becoming a developer. So we've got this special class with only 100 students, only 100 spaces in it. And we are just today, just for the next hour, giving 50% off to anybody who signs up right now. So if you do that, you go to onemonth.com/HTML50. That's your secret code. We're not sharing it anywhere else. We're not giving it out on Twitter or Facebook or anything like this. If you want to join the class, then you have to reserve your seat right now. And you will get these amazing videos of Chris, and you're going to get to learn all that you want to know about HTML. He's going to personally review your work and your homework. He's going to be available every day, so you can talk to him one-on-one, and you get to meet all the other students in the class. So that was our big surprise, which is we're giving seats away at 50% off. Go to onemonth.com/HTML50, and you'll get half off the course if you sign up in the next hour.
Awesome. And you mentioned the community. I took a few screenshots to share what that looks like. So this is from running the course previously. So I've done this a few times. And when we have the course, you can see here on the left that are in the course. And together, in the center, you can see sharing code, asking questions, making announcements, even just like fun videos or products that we saw around the web that week. It's just a cool community to get to learn from each other as well. And even me teaching the course, I learn from you, because the students are always be creative and make it just into new technologies, asking questions, meeting developers, and it's just like a whole just like an awakening, I think. Once you start coding, other things in your life start to kind of, other possibilities of, oh, maybe I'll learn this, or maybe I understand JavaScript better now, or my friend who's a developer has a project that I can work on with him. I'm going to keep doing this and add to that. So those are just some of the stories and some of the cool stuff that happens in the Slack room that we have, the private Slack room for the students. All of that, if you just go to onemonth.com/HTML50. This photo, but I didn't like it, so I chose this photo. Just so you know. That's me eating sushi.
All right, I've got a question for you.
There's actually a coding. Yeah, what's up?
I got some live questions from these students. One person says, I'm enrolled in 1 month and I've taken the HTML course already. I'm also enrolled in the premium Python and premium Ruby courses. I plan on doing JavaScript as well. Holy moly. This guy's name is Matthew. It's like, okay, he's already taken HTML. He's taken premium Python and he's enrolled in Ruby. His question is, how far do you think he'll be able to take his future career with these courses? And of course, referring to Stack Overflow, etc.
Oh, okay, cool. So, I mean, how far can you take your career? And there's really no limit. That's kind of like that's a amazing question, right? Because you can do anything. I mean, I can tell you about your students for sure who have HTML course, taken the Ruby on Rails course with us, and went on and got jobs. Patrick Stapleton was one of our first students. He got a job about 6 months after working with us at 1 month and learning on his own. He was building projects and he committed to it, and he got a job making about $120,000 about 6 months later. Dozens of stories like that. But I think it really depends how much you put into it, you know, and that's why we developed this approach, because I don't want you to go and try to learn to code, all cram it all in, right? Or pay $10,000 for bootcamp and either find out that it's not for you or that you get burnt out really quick, or that it's, you know, the best way to learn is to have a process where you learn a little bit every day, a little bit every week, and you have someone you can ask questions to. That's how I learn best, and so that's what I'm setting you up with, and that's why I call it 1 month. Because if you put in, I would say to get a job or something, maybe if you put in somewhere between like 4 to 6 months, I think you could be pretty hireable. If you're already at a job, if you're looking for a salary increase or skills, yes, I think this 1 month of HTML could really give you an edge in getting hired for something. I was just clarifying, like, I think to be a developer, that would definitely take, I don't know, at least 6 months, you know. But to use developing skills at your current job or a job you're applying to, I mean, day one, you could start right away. I think there's like no stopping that. You're going to learn so much.
Yeah.
So that's
I'm really
how I'd
curious
approach that.
to hear how he ends up liking the Python and Ruby courses and what comes of that, because we've had so many people go through and just it's amazing how much, I think the first month in particular is really the thing that sets you up well for success. If you can make something, if you can build your first app, if you can make a project, if you can see the results of what you do right away, all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is cool. It's like being able to order food in Spanish or in French for the first time. You're like, oh, wait a second. Yeah. I'm doing magic. I'm doing magic. And now I want to be a like master magician. And so I think what Chris is saying is it takes the first month to really like jump in and be like, oh, I'm a little overwhelmed. Let me have students around me. Let me figure out what it is that I'm learning. And then once you get your feet wet and you build that first project, it's so fun. And I watched this happen to my husband when he started teaching himself Python. He just went off the deep end, and he's been reading like all these books and geeking out like crazy. So Matthew, I think that you're in for a really fun surprise. And then, so Chris, I want to hand it back to you because I'm getting more questions. So I want to make sure that we have time to answer them all. One person says, if I've taken the HTML course already, so he's already taken the library course. If I've taken the course already, is there any point to taking advantage of this 50% offer? What do you say?
If you've taken the HTML course, I don't know. I think, because we're going to do more, but I think it's debatable, to be honest. I think if you did the HTML course, but you didn't complete all the projects, that this would be valuable, because through building those, I will give you feedback, and we will do at least 1, maybe 2 new projects. So the cool thing about the premium course is you'll introduce yourself to me and I can help guide you. So if you are having trouble, I can, and easier assignments. And if you're excelling, I can give you more difficult assignments because I'm a human, right? And I can help you with that, and you can ask those questions. So if you want a review or you didn't complete it, yes, I think this will be helpful. But if you did complete it and you feel you're 100% with it, I would suggest going to the responsive design course, which is another course we have. That's like the next step into development. So that would be my suggestion there.
Cool. So what you're saying is tell people, like, if you've taken the HTML course before, either come back and repeat some of the information and have one-on-one time with you so they get that advantage. Or if they want to skip ahead, they can take the responsive design course.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Matthew, if you're still around and you've asked all of these questions, let me know if you have any more, because he's flying in with lots of questions. Ooh, and a couple of shout outs. Michael, Emmanuel, and Ivan just signed up. So you have people who are signing up right now to be part of this upcoming class. Awesome.
Yes.
One student doesn't have a question, but says it's fun and overwhelming, but like Chris, I am a musician and I understand that it takes time to see the rewards, and when you get it, it's incredibly rewarding.
Cool. I love that. Yep.
Not a comment, just a thing, which we totally agree with. Like, learning chords in piano or on the guitar, not necessarily the most fun thing you can do in the world. Making music, incredible. So sometimes, sometimes looking at the cursor and being like, what is it that I'm trying to do? Or Googling for the hex code that you need to change the color. Not the most exciting thing.
Yes.
But then you get in and you start geeking out and you're like, oh my God, I am a master of the web. I'm going to make the internet mine.
Yes. You're reading my brain.
Okay, next question. Someone asks, will there be a course geared towards driving traffic and making money with your blog site?
Sarah, you might know just as well as I do about that.
Actually, I can probably answer some of this.
Yeah.
Two recommendations.
You answer that one.
Two recommendations. I would say, number one, go check out growth hacking. Matan teaches a course called growth hacking, and it's a really, really great way to get more traffic. I would start there. Great thing. And number two, I teach a course, and I'm just going to promote my course right now. It's called Content Marketing, and that's all about creating a lot of content to generate great SEO on your site, and then also coming up with a content marketing strategy. How do you create a blog? How do you not get overwhelmed? How do you understand what kinds of content to put on there and not go underwater with writing every single day? So I think those two courses, if you took growth hacking and content marketing, you'd be in great shape.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Sarah, you had a question. You were asking me about completion rates for my courses, and I just put together a quick slide while we were chatting that I can show you.
Yes. Can I ask the question again so people know what we're talking about?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'm gonna
your question specifically. But yes.
I'm going to tee you up. And then you can answer it. Okay. So one of the things that I think, like Chris, who is one of the most phenomenal teachers here at 1 Month, one of the things that he doesn't brag about, and I really think that he should, is this thing called completion rates. So around the world of the internet and at MOOCs, massive open online courses, you can see them at any college or institution or online teaching location. The average completion rate is 3 to 5%. That means for every 100 people that sign up for a course, only 3 to 5 of them actually finish it. That's kind of discouraging. It's a little bit depressing to think like, man, all these people want to take these courses, but what's happening? And it's an interesting question and something we geek out on and study a lot at 1 Month. So Chris, can you tell us about the completion rates for 1 month courses? Can we geek out and brag about you a little bit?
I suppose so. Yeah. I mean, I'm super jazzed because that's one of the things that our completion rates are so high that somewhere, I made a slide here, between 40 to 50% of the students that sign up. So these are, I took out all their names, but these were actual students from my last 2 courses and their progress. So I'm watching you, the student, go through so I can see when you get stuck. I can, we can reach out and get you unstuck, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, these are, so you can see the bars on the right that are really high. These are students that completed, got 100% grade, because there's grading in the premium courses. I got a 100% and completed all of the videos, and it was somewhere between 40 and 50%, which is pretty remarkable, I think, for an online course specifically. Like they're usually around like 3% of people, and even colleges are only around like something like 60 to 70%. So I think this just shows that, like, if you have the burning passion to learn, I like to say 3 hours a week. If you put in about an hour of watching our videos, the videos I made you, about a half an hour chatting in the Slack, and about an hour and a half coding on your own, that's the recipe. And getting through this and walking away with 4 portfolio pieces and something, some skills that you apply day one to your job or to your future job. So yeah, that does get me excited. Why I'm here is I want you to learn. If you weren't learning, I wouldn't be doing this, So that's why I showed up today, and that's why I'm excited for this course.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think it's something that we've been testing and figuring out for the past year and a half, is what does it take to actually get students not only to find out and discover what it is that they want to learn next, but how do they actually hit their goals? And if somebody's goal is to become a developer, or it is to learn HTML in 30 days, or it is to set up a blog, how do they actually finish it? And it's not just an availability of materials. It's not just having access to the resources that gets you what you want. You actually have to apply your knowledge and perform and execute and do all of these things. Well, what we've found is that when we have a live teacher there who's able to help you out, and you're in a classroom with other students, and we set up these reminders and all of these other pieces that we put together in our courses, that our students are getting it done, that they're actually making it happen. And they're blowing completion rates out of the water compared to other online courses. And that's something that we love to geek out about, and something that we're really invested in, is making sure that people take our courses and get what they want. They don't just sign up for a course and then forget to do it.
Totally.
Cool. All right, Chris, the question part is wrapped up. So can you tell everybody again, where do we find out about this special offer, and how much longer do they have to use it?
Yeah, so the offer is one of the biggest that I've ever seen 1 month give, which is why I was surprised. 50% off for the HTML premium course, which starts on Monday. And if you just go to onemonth.com/HTML50, just like that right there below my geeky face, that one, either one, the URL will take you there, and you can get that. And I believe, Sarah, it's only for the next hour. Is that correct?
Yeah,
right?
That's right. We're going to leave this up for the next hour. So if you need to go get everything sorted out and figured out, make sure you do it before the next hour is up. We'll send you an email with the special promo code so that you can sign up if you'd like. And we'd love to see you in the class.
Sweet.
All right, that's it, Chris. Unless you have any last things that you want to share with people, we are at the top of the hour, and we need to let people get back to their jobs.
That sounds great.
Amazing.
Yeah, this
have an awesome day.
Thanks so much. All right, everybody. Oh, and also, just anyone out there, like, I try to make myself accessible. So if there was something that wasn't answered, or you want to reach out to me, I'm on Twitter. I'm at Castig. You can just email me. I'm chris@onemonth.com. And my blog and videos and a lot of stuff that I make is up at castig.org. Is out. Don't be a stranger. So there we go.
Awesome. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Bye, everybody.